Love Tech Talks, a little tool 101 here. We're going to get you something going on here that you're going to like. Because we're going to explain to you how to use your pliers without breaking them or hurting yourself or poking your doggone eye out. So listen up. Here's the thing. This is the first one we're going to talk about. Now these, it's a pair of channel locks. This is not pliers. I know you think they are. These are pliers, but they even have a name. We'll get to those in a minute. These are called channel locks. You can adjust this, or slip joint too. You can adjust this anywhere you want to make it, see how closed it is now? You can go like this, whoop, and now look, it's great big. Now, these things are pretty powerful too. You can, I mean, they have many uses. Adjust them wherever you want, wherever you would like. And then when you're turning something, it gives you that extra leverage. So if you open it up here and you got it closed like this, you can't squeeze it too good. So if you open it a little more and then close it, now you can close the handle all the way and you've gripped whatever you want in here real tight in the teeth, and it's effective more so because it's a longer handle than these. See the longer handle? Now these here, see the edge right, this top part right here? These are called bullnose. You know what the cool thing about these bullnose is though? They even got a little slip joint in them too. Whoop. Now look how much bigger it is. And when you can tell when you're in a slip joint, because see how the handle touches down here and the jaws do not touch. So when you're not in that, now the jaws touch, but the handles do not. That's when you know this is for bigger stuff. And the nice thing about these is the very bottom jaw here, you can use for a wire cutter. You can cut a coat hanger with them things. And then there's some bigger rounded jaws, and then there's some nippers up here, just little bitty ones for grabbing small stuff. And that's what you know, make sure you're using these right so you don't get on there and slip off. If you're getting this and you're slipping off what you're trying to turn with these pliers, or if you're holding something and it's cramping your hand, go to a bigger set of pliers. Now you see how these are straight jawed, but you can open them up more and close your hand around it better. If you're holding it like this and that's all the pressure you can put on it, you need to close it so you can really get a good grip on it. You don't want your hand out here where you can't pull very hard. You want to close your hand so you can grip it harder. Now, there's a couple different pairs. Now these are wire pliers. These are made for, you can cut wire with them here. And then there's several different notches down in here where you can crimp connectors. Now when you're crimping a connector, there's several ways you can crimp connectors and do it correctly. And we'll show you that on another video. We just wanted to show you the pliers. Notice how they have a longer handle than what we were working with on this one here? That's because when you're crimping something, you're going to close it, you want to be able to squeeze it really tight. If you have a little short handle, you can't get that much pressure on there. So that's why they're longer like that. Now, a lot of people call this a Klein tool. It's actually just a wire. It's a wire tool. It's a wire plier. They call it a Klein tool because that was the first company that made them and kind of made them famous, and it was the Klein company and the Klein tool company. But these are awesome. These are the best ones I've ever had. Now the next ones we're going to talk about are these. These are kind of a plier, but more of a specific tool. You notice the opening here. I put my finger in there and it's all the way closed. See? Now, you notice that big opening there, and then at the bottom there's little bitty pieces that come out. You can take these on the older cars, even on the newer cars if they got boots on them for spark plugs, you can reach down in there around that boot and grab a hold of that spark plug boot and pull. They're insulated, so on the older cars, I know this is crazy, on the older cars, if we wanted to know if a cylinder was firing or not, we'd start the engine and let it run, and then we'd grab these pliers and we'd wiggle and pop that wire off. Well, here's the problem with that. If you're holding it up here like this, or if you had metal handle ones or cheap ones, the spark would come through to you, and you would know that you were definitely getting spark to that. Your spark plug is good. I mean, your spark plug wire is good because it would shock you like that. Bad news. So they made them with these big plastic nylon handles on them, and you don't get shocked anymore. So these are really good. They're effective only for the older vehicles. The new ones have coil packs on them and stuff. You can't really get these in there because it's a coil pack. So now the next one we're going to talk about are some of my favorites. This is a really old pair of needle nose. These are called needle nose. And these are about, I think they call it a 30-degree angle. Same exact one here. This is a 30-degree angle needle nose. But you notice the size. They're much smaller. This one's much smaller than this one for obvious reasons. But when you drop a 10-millimeter nut down in next to the valve cover on an engine and you can't get to it, well, you can reach this baby right down in there and grab it right out of there. This one here is more for holding. You can hold stuff with this. You can get in there and hold a wire connector that you're trying to plug back in. You can get in there with these too and do the same thing. But sometimes this part of the handle is too big to get in the area. Now notice when I hold my pliers, how I hold them. You put your hand on it like that. Your two top fingers on the outside. The third finger down. The pinky finger don't usually do anything. Hold it with your thumb on this side, and then you can open and close that plier like that. Some people, you'll see them doing this and trying to shake them open. No, just put your finger in there and open it up. That'll be a lot easier. When you're underneath the car or down in there, your hand's down in there, you got to open it up. You can't just let it fall open like this because then sometimes you can't reach it again. So make sure you put your fingers like this and you can open it up and close it real easy. Now, same thing goes for these here. See how you can't get many fingers on this one though, right? So that third finger is kind of like almost missing on that handle. It misses it. So these have little spring metal inside of them. And what's cool about these is watch. So now you notice these are what we call normally open pliers. You go like this and let go and it pops back open because it's spring assisted. Because they're so small you can't get your finger in there to do that sometimes. So these are nice because if you're trying to unplug a connector on a newer car and you can't get your fingers in there to squeeze it because it won't squeeze tight enough, you can take these down inside there. Your whole fist, just make a fist and go down in there next to it and let it open, pinch it, and then pop it off. These are really effective. They have so many uses, but just make sure that you're using them correctly and you're using them for the right job. You don't want to take these. I see this all the time. This is my favorite one. They think that this is a pry bar. They grab something, and as you can tell by mine, I've had to bend them back a few times because I've had some boneheads thinking they're pliers, or they'll get like, this is my favorite one. They're going to use this one for a hammer and try to drive something down it. Man, if I catch you hitting my tools like that, I'm going to thump you on your head with one of these pliers. Probably this one because it's the biggest one. Now look, I didn't have my safety glasses on today because I'm just showing you guys something. Always make sure you're wearing your safety glasses while you're doing this stuff. Make sure that you're doing it in a manner that's not going to get you shocked. If you got to be down around a starter or something like that, it's not going to shock you. But I'm telling you what, if this baby here touches something positive and it touches some metal, it's going to light you up like a Christmas tree because it's going to get red hot real quick. It's going to get hot fast. So disconnect that battery, stay safe, and listen. It's Eddie, Dove Tech Talks, keeping you safe, baby. Teaching you something about how to use some pliers. See you next time.